All the way up to episode 7, and I have the one, the only, the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Walter Barton, our fabulous art teacher. So, Mr. Barton, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. Happy to be here.
All right, I appreciate you being on here. So why don't you tell all our loyal listeners out there, how did you get your start in education?
I got my start by working as a paraprofessional at Grant Middle School, and I was covering for a paraprofessional who had a baby and had some medical complications. And it was in the Chapter 1 reading program. It was a federal program. So that's how I got started. Discovered I really loved working with children and learning.
How did you make the shift from that role into your art role?
I actually, after I had the temporary job, it seemed like a good temporary job to have while I was working on artwork. But then I liked teaching so much, and I liked learning about, it was whole language at that point, and teaching language arts, that I decided to go back to school. I already had a fine arts degree and decided to go back to school and get a elementary ed certification because I thought, I'm curious about everything. And I did a year of that down at Metro, and then it felt like I was too far away from art and kind of freaked me out. So I took a year off working on art and then decided I'll balance it and go back and get an art ed degree.
Nice. So one of the biggest strengths that not everybody knows about is your ability to connect with kids. You see all 500 or 483 members of our community here. So how do you reach every student in your classroom?
By engaging their interests and giving them challenges and with art and materials that are experiential and where they can pull up and access and explore their own passions and interests. And challenging them to do something that's different than they've been doing.
Well, typically as I tour people around our building, I usually refer to you as the Dos Equis man, the most interesting man in the world. So tell us some of the hurdles that you had to face personally, then how did you overcome them?
Oh, that's a tough one. All kinds of hurdles? Put me on the spot here. I've been really, really lucky in life, really blessed. I had great family growing up. I experienced a lot of different things growing up. At the time, it was a lot of busing, a lot of racial tensions and issues that way. I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood and was bused to integrate white schools. And I think that gave me a lot of different perspectives on social issues and things like that. I did face some violent episodes in education, like in school and around school, based on the busing and kind of the social issues of the day. But really, I've been really fortunate. And I mean, my dad had a chronic disease that was called syringomyelia, which was difficult for him. And I mean, I don't feel like I had, like when I think of challenges people face around the country and the world, I don't feel like I had like personal hardships that are worth talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I'll tell you what. That's a note to all you teachers out there. Proper wait time elicits great responses. That was a great response by Mr. Barton. So what sound, noise, or smell do you love?
I love the smell of vanilla. My wife just bought some really expensive actual vanilla. It's not just the extract. It's like real vanilla, and it's unbelievable. And I love the sound of wind in the pine trees in the mountains. I just love that sound. And what's the last one? Sound, smell, and
noise. Well, you can pick one of the three, but you're going through the whole thing. So, hey.
So I'd say I'd pick those two things. There's two things I just love.
What is something you're not very good at?
Structural stuff. My green brain. That's a challenge for me.
All right, so here's one of the other things that not everybody knows about you is you're very worldly. You know a lot of things about a lot of things. So tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Oh, gosh. Well, in this workplace, it's whether or not the man should put the toilet seat down. And or if it's the job of the next person who's coming to use it to look and see whether or not they should sit down or they need to put the seat down themselves. And I think it's the job of the person who follows the person.
I would almost 100% guarantee that nobody agrees with you on that statement.
That's why
there.
I picked that one.
All right. Well, I know you've got some kids to teach. You've got some art lessons to go about. So thanks so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. And stay tuned till next week. Thanks for being on the show. Oh,
sure. I just have to say one thing. That wasn't a very worldly topic for a disagreement, but I knew nobody would agree on it.
Nobody, especially in this building, would agree with Mr. Barton. That's for sure. All right. Have a great week. Thanks again, Mr. Barton.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.